Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, when did I start feeling older than I am? Maybe your joints are a little stiffer than they used to be. Maybe your energy just isn't there like it was 10 years ago. Or maybe you found yourself wondering if this is just what aging feels like and whether there's anything you can do about it. If that's you, I want to start by telling you this. Growing older doesn't mean you have to feel old. There's a big difference between getting older and aging well. And you have more control over that than you think. Every single day, the choices you make, what you eat, how you move, how you think, can either help you feel younger and stronger or leave you feeling tired and worn out. And the good news? You don't need some miracle pill or expensive program to turn things around. What really makes the difference are the daily habits. The small, consistent things you do each day that support your body, your mind, and your spirit. In this video, we're going to go over 5 daily habits that help seniors live longer and feel younger. And these aren't theories. This is advice I give my own patients, and they've seen real results. Let's start with one of the most underrated yet powerful habits, starting your morning with movement. Now, I'm not talking about going for a 5-mile jog or lifting heavy weights. I mean gentle, intentional movement. Something as simple as stretching your arms overhead, rolling your shoulders, doing a few leg raises while sitting on the edge of your bed, or taking a slow walk around the house. You see, after 60, your muscles and joints need a little extra love to stay limber. When you wake up and go straight to sitting in a chair, or scrolling on your phone, or skipping breakfast, your body doesn't fully wake up with you. But when you move, even for just 5 to 10 minutes, you get your blood flowing, you activate your balance, and you signal to your brain, hey, we're ready for the day. I had a patient, Joyce, who's 72. She used to complain about feeling stiff until lunchtime. We added 5 minutes of light movement to her morning, just 5 minutes. And within 2 weeks, she said her back pain was better, her energy lasted longer, and her mood improved. All from a small, simple habit. And if you're someone who struggles with staying consistent, just tie the habit to something you already do, like stretching right after brushing your teeth or doing 3 slow squats while waiting for your coffee to brew. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to happen. Now, let's talk about something that affects nearly every system in your body, and yet it's often overlooked: hydration. If you're feeling more tired lately, or your skin feels dry, or you're dealing with headaches or brain fog, there's a good chance you're not drinking enough water. And no, coffee and tea don't count toward your hydration the same way water does. Especially as we get older, our sense of thirst becomes weaker. That means you could be dehydrated and not even feel thirsty. Water plays a role in digestion, circulation, brain function, joint lubrication, and even your immune system. When your body is properly hydrated, everything just works better. You feel clearer, lighter, more alert. One thing I tell my patients is to keep a reusable water bottle somewhere visible, by the TV on the kitchen counter, or next to the chair where you read or relax. The easier it is to reach for, the more likely you'll actually drink. And if plain water is boring for you, try adding lemon slices, cucumber, or a few pieces of frozen fruit to make it more inviting. Another helpful habit is to drink a glass of water first thing in the morning, before the coffee, before breakfast, just 1 glass. You've gone 7 to 8 hours without any fluids while sleeping, and your body needs a hydration boost to start the day strong. Hydration may sound simple, but it can be life-changing. I've seen seniors who are experiencing fatigue and memory issues improve noticeably just by drinking more water throughout the day. Now let's shift to something that's often overlooked but deeply powerful: connection. And no, I don't just mean having friends or family around. I mean daily emotional connection. Even just a few minutes of real, meaningful interaction with another human being. Loneliness is one of the biggest health threats facing seniors today. It's been linked to higher rates of heart disease, depression, memory decline, and even a shorter lifespan. And what's tricky is that you can live with others or see people at the store and still feel isolated if you're not truly connecting. So, how do we build connection into a daily habit? It doesn't have to be big or dramatic. It could be calling a friend, chatting with a neighbor, video calling your grandkids, or even just having a meaningful conversation with someone at your local coffee shop. One gentleman I see regularly, he's 78, started making it a point to call one friend or family member every day, even if it was just to say hello. After a few weeks, he told me he felt less anxious, slept better, and started looking forward to the calls each day. It gave him a sense of purpose, and that feeling matters more than people realize. If making calls isn't your thing, even sending a voice message or writing a short note or email can create that sense of closeness. What matters most is consistency. A little bit every day to keep the heart open, the mind engaged, and the spirit lifted. Now that we've talked about moving in the morning, staying hydrated, and keeping your heart connected with others, let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep going, because we've already touched on some simple but powerful changes. Moving your body in the morning, drinking more water, and staying emotionally connected. These daily habits might seem small on their own, but when they become part of your routine, they create a ripple effect that reaches every part of your health. Now let's talk about one of the most important and often overlooked things seniors can do to stay young, strong, and mentally sharp. That's eating real, whole foods that actually nourish your body. I'm not talking about dieting or cutting out everything you love. I'm not even saying you have to eat like a nutritionist. What I'm talking about is making one or two better food choices each day that slowly, steadily improve your energy, protect your organs, and support your long-term health. A lot of people over 60 grew up in a generation where meals were hearty, convenient, and often came from a can or a box. That was normal back then. But now, as your body changes, your needs change too. Processed foods, stuff like instant noodles, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, or salty frozen meals, don't give your body what it needs anymore. They leave you tired, bloated, and more vulnerable to things like high blood pressure, diabetes, and memory loss. But here's the good news. You don't have to overhaul your entire kitchen. You can start with something as simple as adding more color to your plate. Think bright greens, deep oranges, vibrant reds, and purples. That means more leafy greens, berries, sweet potatoes, and peppers. These are loaded with nutrients that support your immune system, protect your heart, and reduce inflammation, one of the silent causes of aging. One of my patients, a 69-year-old man who used to skip vegetables altogether, started adding a handful of spinach to his scrambled eggs and replacing chips with a small apple in the afternoon. It didn't take long, just a couple of weeks, and he noticed he wasn't crashing mid-afternoon anymore. He was sleeping better. His blood pressure started to drop without changing his medication. Little things add up fast. So ask yourself, what's one thing I can add today that's fresh and real? It might be an extra serving of fruit, a side salad at dinner, or switching from white bread to whole grain. And if cooking feels like a chore or you live alone, try prepping just one healthy thing that lasts all week, like a big bowl of chopped veggies for stir-fry or a pot of soup full of beans and greens. Keep it simple. Keep it doable. You're not trying to win a cooking contest. You're fueling your body with what it truly needs. Now, let's move on to a habit that has more to do with your mind than your body, but it's just as essential for staying young. And that's keeping your brain active and curious every single day. You probably heard the phrase, use it or lose it. And when it comes to your brain, that couldn't be more true. The brain is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the more it stays sharp, responsive, and ready. But when you stop learning, when your routine becomes too predictable, your brain gets sluggish. Memory starts to slip. Focus gets harder. But here's the beauty of it. Keeping your brain active doesn't mean studying textbooks or solving complicated puzzles, unless you enjoy that. It can be as simple as trying something new, reading a new article each morning, doing a crossword puzzle, learning a few words in another language, watching a documentary, or even playing a musical instrument. I had a lovely woman in her early 80s who started painting again after 40 years of not touching a brush. Not only did it give her something to look forward to, but she said it helped her sleep better, focus more during the day, and made her feel like she was alive again. Her words, not mine. Even something as simple as brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand or taking a new route on your walk can fire up your brain in new ways. The goal is stimulation, little challenges that keep those neurons firing and forming new connections. And if you're someone who feels like it's too late to start something new, let me stop you right there. It's never too late. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, no matter your age. The science shows that seniors who stay mentally engaged are less likely to develop Alzheimer's, depression, or even chronic illness. So the question isn't, can I? It's, what do I want to try today? Something that makes you curious, makes you smile, or makes you think a little differently. That's where the magic is. Now that we've talked about fueling your body with the right foods and keeping your brain switched on each day, let's keep the momentum going with one final habit that ties everything together. Let's bring everything together now with one final habit that truly ties it all into a lifestyle that supports not only longevity, but joy, clarity, and emotional peace. This habit is simple in concept, but deeply powerful in practice, and it's something I recommend to every senior I work with. Ending your day with calm intention and gratitude. Now I know that might sound a little vague at first, but let's break it down. Your evening routine has a massive impact on how well you sleep, how your body recovers, and how your brain resets for the next day. And yet, most people don't think about how they close their day. They just drift off in front of the TV or go to bed carrying stress, worry, or overstimulation from the news, social media, or old memories that sneak up when it's quiet. But here's what I found. The way you end your day sets the tone for how your body rests, heals, and recharges. That's why this final habit is all about creating a calm closing routine that includes a few small actions, nothing complicated, that signal to your brain and body, it's time to relax. We're safe. We're okay. For some people, it's turning off screens at least 30 minutes before bed and listening to soft music or reading a few pages from a book. For others, it's light stretching, sipping herbal tea, or just sitting quietly in their favorite chair, thinking about what went well that day. One of the most effective things I've seen is this. Take just 2 minutes before bed to name 3 things you're thankful for. It doesn't have to be deep or dramatic. It could be something simple like, I had a really good lunch, or the sun felt nice on my face, or I had a good conversation with my son. What matters is that it brings your focus to what's working, not what's missing. That mental shift can change everything. A senior I work with, a retired nurse in her 70s, started doing this gratitude practice every night before bed. She said it helped her sleep better, ease her anxiety, and even made her feel more hopeful each morning. And over time, that peaceful mindset started flowing into other parts of her day. She made better food choices, moved more, reached out to old friends. It all started from 2 quiet minutes of reflection. And while we're talking about evenings, let me touch on something important. Good sleep is not a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're not sleeping well, your body doesn't heal the way it should. Your brain can't process memory properly. Your immune system weakens, and even your mood and balance are affected. That's why this calming evening habit is more than just feel-good advice. It's a strategy for living longer and feeling younger. So take a moment to think. What's the last thing you do before bed? Is it something that soothes you or something that stresses you? If it's the latter, let's flip that script. Create a little routine that works for you. Maybe it's 5 minutes of silence. Maybe it's writing in a journal. Maybe it's simply brushing your teeth, washing your face, and turning off the lights with intention instead of autopilot. When you pair this final habit with the others, morning movement, hydration, daily connection, nourishing food, and mental stimulation, you create a rhythm that supports your entire being. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. And here's what I really want you to take away from this. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul to feel better. You don't need to be 20 years younger to move with confidence or wake up with energy. What you need is consistency in small, smart choices, the kind that fit into your real life, not some fancy routine. You are capable of that. You've already lived through so much, decades of challenges, responsibilities, change. You've earned the right to care for yourself in a way that brings you peace, not pressure. Every glass of water, every walk, every call to a loved one, every healthy bite, every quiet evening. That's you telling yourself, I matter. And let me tell you something else. It's never too late to feel better. I've seen people in their late 70s and even early 80s start making these shifts and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive than they have in years. It's not about age. It's about action. So if this message speaks to you, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one habit you're going to start with? Or Maybe one you've already been doing that works well for you. You never know who you might inspire just by sharing. If you found this helpful, give this video a like. It helps more seniors find this content. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on weekly tips and motivation for living your best life after 60. You are not past your prime. You are in a new season of wisdom, strength, and purpose. And we're right here with you every step of the way. Here's to living longer, feeling younger, and taking back your power, one day, one habit at a time. Before we finish, I want to remind you of something that's easy to forget in the noise of everyday life. You are worth the effort it takes to feel good again. Sometimes we think feeling tired, foggy, or achy is just part of growing older, but that's not always true. Yes, our bodies change. Yes, things slow down, but that doesn't mean you have to accept feeling less than your best. The truth is, your body is still listening. Your mind is still growing. Your heart is still capable of joy. And those small daily choices, they're signals to your future self. They're saying, I care about you. I'm investing in you. That's what these 5 habits are really about. They're not rules. They're not restrictions. They're gentle steps toward living a fuller life, toward waking up with energy, toward enjoying a quiet walk without pain, toward remembering names and stories, and feeling connected to the people you love. Every glass of water, every moment of morning movement, every colorful meal, every challenge you give your brain, every calm, thoughtful evening. These aren't chores. They're gifts you give yourself. And the beautiful thing is, they add up quickly. I've seen seniors who started with just one habit, a short walk each day, or switching from soda to water. And within weeks, they felt more alive than they had in years. Not because they changed everything overnight, but because they stuck with one thing long enough to feel the difference. So I encourage you right now, don't just listen. Choose one habit to begin today. Maybe it's standing up and stretching after this video. Maybe it's filling a glass of water and drinking it slowly. Maybe it's calling someone you've been meaning to check on. Start small and give yourself the freedom to grow from there. You don't have to do all 5 habits perfectly. You don't have to compare yourself to anyone else. This is your journey, and it's not about being younger. It's about feeling more you. Aging doesn't mean disappearing. It doesn't mean fading into the background. It means stepping into a new kind of strength, a strength that comes from wisdom, patience, and self-awareness. You have more power than you think, and your story isn't over. It's evolving. So if this video gave you a little boost today, if it reminded you that you're still in control of how you feel, go ahead and give a thumbs up. That lets me know it reached you. Leave a comment and share which habit you're committing to, or even just how you're feeling right now. I read every comment, and it means so much to hear from you. This community is here to support you, encourage you, and walk this journey with you, one meaningful day at a time. And if you're not already subscribed, now's the time. We post weekly videos with honest, practical advice for seniors who want to stay healthy, independent, and happy. From fitness to food, mindset to medicine, we've got you covered. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you feel seen, heard, and inspired. Here's to better mornings, stronger bodies, clearer minds, and more peaceful nights. Here's to living your best life at any age. And especially now. You've got this, and we've got your back.